Hey everybody, Todd here. Today I'm back on the camper project. I worked on it yesterday for about 6 hours. Took my time to get reorganized, got everything laid out. I actually did a little bit of work on it and I'll bring you along with that, catch you up on that. And then today we're going to be hopefully getting the electrical system complete. So follow along and let me show you what we're up to. So I'm using a number 6 by 1 inch screw. I'm going to drive it, I'm going to get it started. And then I'm going to drive it home by hand. Do not want to over tighten these bad boys. There's blocking behind the sheet of plywood. Obviously this is a plastic housing too, so if I over tighten it, it's going to bust the plastic. Plus, I want to get it tight enough that it's waterproof. It's got a good rubber gasket behind it. There we go, 30 amp shipped to shore. Got an adapter that reduces that down to just a regular extension cord. If you want to hook into your backyard, just a regular extension cord. So that's progress. We're over here at the workbench, so let's take a look at what I've been working on for the electrical. Obviously, you got to have a diagram. There's enough going on that without it, it'd be easy to lose your way or get in the middle of it and not remember which goes where, at least for me anyways. So I've built with conduit a couple of junction boxes that I'll be using. One of them will be an actual electrical box with an outlet in it that I'll be plugging the AC unit into. The others are just to secure the rough wiring. I know it's overkill, but I'd like to at least, since it's inside of a cabinet, I'd like to at least have it all in conduit so that once it's in there, it's safe. You never have to worry about that. So that's what I'll be installing today. And once I get it over there, I'll walk you through it. Going to give you a little bit of a progress report here. Got the countertop in, and what I did is I just really bought a already finished shelf from Home Depot and cut it down. It doesn't come out with a lip, which I would have liked, but I kind of looked at this and said, it's a great temporary situation, or maybe permanent for all I know. But in the meantime, it's going to give me something to work with. And if I don't like it, I can always cover it with something else later on, or pull it off and start over. But in the meantime, there we go. So I've got my electrical through it. Everything turned out pretty nice. Got it installed. I tacked it down with some finish nails with my gun. Been working inside the box. Have my power in. That's the orange. That's a 10 wire. And that's all tacked down, ready to go in the box in the side. Got my Romex that's coming up through the floor. I've got that all tacked down and in place. And then that'll all go into the box and the conduit. So that's all set and ready to go. So we're making progress, and now it's going to be a matter of getting the box installed and then tying it all in. Part of my challenge is going to be, you can see there just isn't a ton of room to work in here. And of course, I'm tucked all the way in that back corner, so I'm going to be laying on my side, working in there one-handed. It's going to be a lot of fun. I am now going to try and install this concoction that I've created with the conduits, the box, etc. And I gotta snake a lot of wires through, so bear with me here. I know I'm probably in the way for a lot of this. This is where it starts to get fun. All right. Well, let's get some of this right out of the way here. That much less I have to worry about. Yeah, this is the big one. This 10 wire, if you've ever worked with it, is stout stuff. The electrical is done, at least the box. So you can see I have the AC unit plugged in at the bottom. That comes up from underneath and goes to the AC unit there. You've got a two breaker box, 215 amp breaker box. You've got the ship to shore 10 wire coming in. That's the orange. That's power in. And then we've got the outlets in the back. You know, I've been through this before if you've watched some of the other videos. So it's all set up for 30 amp service in, and I do have an adapter that goes into the side of the camper to be able to reduce that down to just a regular extension cord. So if I'm in a situation I want to plug it into my backyard or something like that, I can do that, so no problem there. And now it's just a matter of, I've got to get some trim pieces in here so that I can set my box height. I went ahead and set the bracket over here for the box in the corner, and I'll be putting the boxes on the wall. We're using these to flush mount, so they're going to go like this. That way I have maximum you know, space. So if I put my little microwave up there, I can run the cord around the side and plug it in there. I don't have a lot of width here on my countertop. Same thing over there on the side. So now I'm heading towards trimming it out. I've got these pieces in the corner cut, but I don't have the pieces, the quarter rounds that'll go around. I got the one here in front of my AC unit. And I got to trim out the AC unit. So we're on to trim, and then I'll be able to finish up the electrical and plug this thing in and verify that it actually works the way it's supposed to. I have everything put together. A nice thing is the shelf fits nicely above it. Here's a little note to you and me and anybody else doing stuff like this. See the nice face on that shelf? Yeah, well, mine's on the back side. I didn't think about that, and I notched out the wrong corner. Not a big deal. I can go down to Home Depot and get some edging and match that perfectly. But I could have avoided it if I just take my time. Oh well. So here's, you know, underneath. And yes, that's on an angle. The reason it's on an angle is because if you follow that all the way up now to the bottom of the cabinet, that's where the hole is. Well, if you follow that down, once you build this out, it's all stiff, right? So in order for me to hit that hole up there, I had to list this whole thing. And, you know, the perfectionist in me's bothered by that, but the reality of it is, who cares? It's down on the bottom. Nobody's ever going to see it, and hopefully I won't have to do anything with it anyhow. But do have a fair amount of storage still up above in that cabinet that's safe and secure. I'm pleased with it. So here's the scorecard on the project. Today's June 30th. And we have a camping trip, a family camping trip, the middle of August. So that's the goal. This thing needs to be campable by the middle of August. Obviously, I spent a couple of days here working on the electrical that have moved me to the point where I can now finish the trim out. And I'm working my way to the windows being the last thing. Honestly, part of the reason that this thing has sat so long is because the windows are going to be a challenge. The windows that I've purchased, they're RV windows, but they're not made for a 2.5-inch wide wall. They're made for a narrower wall, maybe up to 2 inches, a smidge more than 2 inches. So I'm going to have a challenge. It's got a ring on the inside, a trim ring, and then they've got a rubber insulation on the outside, so they're made to just sandwich together and clamp together. So that's going to be a challenge, plus getting these windows cut to the final size. So I just work my way to the windows, and this too shall pass, and the thing will be done. So I appreciate you tagging along and watching the project. Obviously, I'm going to have a few more videos coming here before the thing is done. So if you'd like, I appreciate it if you'd click a thumbs up, give me a thumbs up, and click like, and subscribe, and follow along and catch the end of the projects.